For Homelinks 4-2, we're using multiplication to make estimates. So the directions say write an estimate and show your thinking, solve using a calculator, check to see that your answer is reasonable. We also need to be writing down our actual number models first because our actual number models are what's going to help us come up with our estimate. So let's look at problem 1. Alice sleeps an average of 9 hours per night. A cat sleeps up to 20 hours per day. About how many more hours does the cat sleep in 1 month than Alice? So we're going from days to months. In class, we talked about how 1 month is about 30 days. Most months are 30 days, so we're going to use 30. So I'm going to take the cat, which is more hours, and subtract Alice's hours. So the cat sleeps 20 hours per day times 30 days in a month. And you need to take away what Alice sleeps. Alice sleeps 9 hours per night times 30 days per month. So there's my actual number model. Now I need to do my estimate. 20 times 30 is actually easy enough for me to do in my head, so I'm going to keep 20 times 30. And 9 times 30, I can also do the original fact of 9 times 3 in my head. So I'm going to keep the 9 times 30. When I do 20 times 30, I do the original fact of 2 times 3, which is 6. Then I have 2 zeros in the factors, so I need to add 2 zeros to the product. Minus 9 times 30. I'm going to do 9 times 3, the original fact first, which is 27. 1 0, add 1 0. When I actually subtract, over here maybe 600 minus 270. 0 minus 0 is 0. I can't do 0 minus 7, so I need to borrow. 10 minus 7 is 3. 5 minus 2 is 3. 330 hours more per month. Now, because I didn't change anything, my actual answer is going to be the same. 20 times 30 is 600. 9 times 30 is 270. So my answer is about 330 more hours per month is what the cat sleeps than Alice. Is your answer reasonable? Yes. My answer is reasonable because it's actually the exact same as my answer. My answer is the same as my estimate. Number 2. Koalas sleep about 22 hours a day. Pandas sleep about 10 hours a day. About how many more hours does a typical koala sleep in 1 year than a typical panda? So I'm going from days to years. In class, we talked about how there are 65 days in 1 year. So how many more hours does a koala sleep than a panda? So I need to do koalas minus pandas. So koalas sleep 22 hours per day times 365 days per year minus that panda sleeps 10 hours per day times 365 days per year equals. Okay, now I need to come up with an estimate. 22, maybe I want to pick 20 is a close but easier number. 365, maybe I want to round that to 400, which is a little high, but that's okay. Minus, now 10 times 365, I think I'm actually going to just keep that the same because I know that any number times 10 means that you just have to add a 0 to the end of that number. So, 20 times 400, 2 times 4 is 8, then I have to add 1, 2, 3 zeros. 8,000 hours minus 10 times 365 would be 3,650. Okay, 8,000 minus 3,650. 0 minus 0 is 0. I can't do 0 minus 5, so I've got to borrow. This will become 10 and then a 9, so this can be 10 tens. Minus 5 tens is 5 tens. 9 hundreds minus 6 hundreds is 300. And 7 thousands minus 3 thousands is 4,000. So my estimate is 4,350. Now, when I solve the actual, I'm going to use a calculator to do 22 times 365. When I do that, I get 8,030 minus 10 times 365, I know is 3,650. So when I do that problem, I get 4,380 hours as my actual answer. Is my estimate reasonable? My estimate was 4,350. My answer is 4,380. Is it reasonable? Yes, it is. My actual answer is close to my estimate. And number 3. There are 30 Major League Baseball MLB teams and 32 National Football League NFL teams. The expanded roster for MLB teams is 40 players, and it is 53 for NFL teams. How many more players are in the NFL than MLB? So I'm doing NFL minus MLB. NFL minus MLB. And I need to figure out the number of players. So I'm going to do NFL 32 teams times 53 players on each team. I'm going to subtract the baseball, which is 30 teams times 40 players on each team. So there's my actual number model. I'm going to come up with an estimate. 32, maybe I want to change that to 30, and 53, change it to 50. Minus, I can keep both 30 and 40 because they're easy enough to multiply. 30 times 50, I'm going to do the 3 times 5, which is 15, and add 2 zeros because there's 2 zeros in my factors. Minus 3 times 4 is 12, and add 2 zeros because there's 2 zeros, 1, 2, in my factors. 1,500 minus 1,200 is 300. 300 is my estimate. Now my actual, I'm going to use a calculator, and I'm going to do 32 times 53. 32 times 53 is 1,696. And I'm going to subtract the 30 times 40, which I already know is 1,200. When I do that, I get 496 more players in the NFL than the MLB. Is my answer reasonable? So 496, is it close to 300? Ooh, they're kind of far away, but let's think about my estimate. I turned the 32 into 30 and the 53 into 50, so I took both of those numbers and lowered them. So it probably makes sense that my estimate is a little bit lower than my actual. So is your answer reasonable? I'm going to say yes, my answer is reasonable. How do you know? My actual answer is fairly close to my estimate. All right, last I have to round this number to the nearest thousand, 45,493. First thing I do is underline the digit in the thousands place. It's a 5. I'm going to write the 4 to the left of it. Then I look to the right. The 4 behind the 5 tells me to keep the 5 the same. Then I have 1, 2, 3 digits. So 1, 2, 3 zeros, 45,000. round to the nearest 10,000, first thing I'm going to do is underline the digit in the 10,000s place, the 0. I'm going to write everything to the left, 1, 4. The 9 behind the 0 tells me to bump it up. The number after a 0 would be a 1. Then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 digits. 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. 1,410,000.